Hey, in this video today, we are going to talk about a topic that most people don't have a good understanding, title and escrow. We're going to interview a good friend of mine, Kelly, at Western Title, and she's going to give us a good overview of what title and escrow does for you. So you make sure you want to stick around and watch the entire video so you can have a complete understanding of how the title and escrow process fits into your real estate transaction. And we're going to get after that interview right now. My name is Joshua Grossman. I'm the leader of the Lifestyle and Ben team at eXp Realty. And we get calls, texts, emails, and Zoom requests every day from people like you, and you looking to make their move to Bend, Oregon, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 900 days, we don't care. Give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, or even sign up for a free Zoom consultation, and we'll go to work on making your move to Bend as smooth as possible. My partner Theron and I are searching high, searching low. We're making deals every day, and we want you to be a part of our family. So go ahead, stick around, sit back, grab that popcorn, and let's learn all about title and escrow with Kelly from Western Title. Hey everyone, today we are with Kelly, and I'm probably going to murder your last name, but Batchelor?
Batchoffner.
I was pretty close, right? She's with Western Title and Escrow, and Kelly have done some deals in the past, and I wanted to invite her on the channel today to basically talk about what title and escrow is. It's a confusing topic for a lot of people. Like what's earnest money? Why do I gotta deposit it? What's a title report? Like, et cetera, et cetera. So I figured I would invite an expert onto the channel so we could just kind of roll through some of the basics. So Kelly, give us a little bit of history on yourself.
Hi, guys. So my name is Kelly. I work at Western Title, like Joshua said, and I've been with the company since 2017. I started out as a receptionist here and just worked up to an officer, and just absolutely love what I do. A lot of people are confused about title and escrow and don't really understand kind of our part in everything. So I'm really happy to be here to be able to chat with you.
That's awesome. So in a nutshell, like what is escrow, right? And so in real estate, escrow is like a safe holding zone where important documents and funds are kept secure. So why do we need that? Why can't it just be between two people?
Exactly. So, and that's what a lot of people say is what's the point of escrow? So we are a neutral third party that is a depository for all of the funds related to a real estate transaction, as well as prepare all of the legal documents. So the deed as far as transferring ownership over to the new owners and following the terms of the sales agreement. So we are really here to protect both the buyers and sellers. So we cannot close until all the terms have been met by the contract, title's clear, and there's no liens or encumbrances on the property for the buyer. And then for the seller, it's protecting them, transferring ownership at the time where all money has been deposited in escrow and they can actually receive the funds on their end as well.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about clearing a deed and encumbrances and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, so what's the process to get through to make sure that like I can I own this property wholly and no one else can come and take it from me?
Yeah, for sure. So what happens is when you first go into a real estate contract, your real estate agent will send that over to us, and that is to open up the transaction for our company. That really triggers the title department to start working on what's called as the title report, the preliminary title report. Now, what those title officers do is that they deep dive into the property. They review all tax records, all judgments, as far as recorded documents on the properties, everything from the time that that property was made up until now to make sure that someone's great great grandma does not have an interest in the property after, which does actually happen a lot. And what happens is once that title report is distributed to everyone, that's where we really step in to make sure that everything is clear for the buyer. So the title report is really our roadmap in escrow of what we need to do. So if you have a mortgage on the property, we order a payoff from your mortgage servicer. If you pay child or spousal support, we have to reach out to either the ex or the state to make sure that they're paid in full so they can't place a lien on the property. If you have unpaid taxes, IRS taxes, as well as property taxes or state taxes that have a lien on the property, we confirm that all of this has been paid. So when a buyer enters into their home, someone else can't come in and place a lien on that property.
And that's important, right? Because we don't want things in our
Yeah,
property because that means someone else can own their property, and banks are not fond of anyone else owning their property except for them and you. Um,
nope.
so earnest money, that becomes a big topic, right? Like,
Yep.
earnest money makes a legally binding contract, right? Because you have to have some kind of monetary transfer. But what does the earnest money look like for escrow? Like, where's it held? What's done with it? How do you get it back? Something
Yep.
happens, etc.
Yep, absolutely. So the earnest money is deposited again with the terms of your real estate contract, usually within the first 3 to 5 business days. And it's the agreed upon amount. So anywhere I would say from 500, and I've seen it even up to 20,000, depending on what the terms of your contract are. So that needs to be made payable to Western Title and can either be in the form of a check, a cashier's check, or a wire transfer. And what's really cool now is I know that and we can get into this later, but there's a lot going on right now about wire fraud. And typically for buyers who are out of state, that was one of the only options for them, is because they had to get their earnest money in and to be able to wire those funds. But now we also have a mobile deposit option. So they just take a picture front and back of their check and we can deposit that as earnest money. Now, as far as getting that earnest money back, well, it's held in escrow until the end of the transaction, or if a transaction is terminated, that earnest money is held at our office until both parties agree who should be receiving that earnest money back. So we can't just willy-nilly write a check out to the buyer or the seller once something has been terminated unless both parties have both agreed to be able to release that earnest money.
And that's very important, right? Because this is
Mhm.
not just a one-sided transaction. There's two people in every transaction, and everybody has to agree where the money goes. So for you buyers out there, if you're in contract and you kill the deal for something outside the contract, you're typically going to lose your earnest money. Your sellers out there, like you actually don't have the option to kill the contract. It's always going to be on the buyer side. And so, but if the buyer backs out for a reason outside the contract, then typically that earnest money can come to you. So always
Yep.
negotiation back and forth. If you are entitled with Western Title, then what Kelly just said is great. If you're not entitled, don't write a check to Western Title for another
Yes,
company. This is that.
exactly.
Because that would be bad.
Yeah, we won't be able to accept it.
Um, so, other things. So there's title insurance. What is title insurance, Kelly? How does that help a buyer out? How does that help a seller out?
Yep, absolutely. So title insurance is really the most protective way and most honestly inexpensive way to be able to protect the buyer's largest investment, which is purchasing their home. So the title insurance is a one-time premium that you pay that when the home closes, typically in the state of Oregon, the seller does pay for the owner's title insurance policy. However, everything can change just dependent on what your real estate contract says and what everyone agrees upon. But that title insurance, again, that is protecting you against great great grandma being able and her heirs being able to come back after you close on your property, knock on your door, and say, hey, this is actually my property and you owe me money. So, what that title search does and what title insurance is ensuring that you do own that property free and clear of all liens, all potential claims against the property from the time that you purchase that house.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
what about what if I'm unsure of the property boundaries that of the piece of property I'm buying? Like how can title help me out with finding out like what do I actually own?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, that's all part of when we send out that title report that will include the legal description as well as the map of the property to have the boundary lines that the property is on. So, again, that's also what title insurance does cover. And also, it does protect the lender as well, because that can sometimes come up. If you have a buyer who's getting a loan, they want to ensure that their interest in the property is protected against those type of things. So, we all just always want to make sure that the buyer and seller and lender are all protected
And
against
so
future claims.
and so what's your role? Like you have people that do so talk to us about who's on your team and who does what. So you're the conduit, you're the face, right? But
Yep.
there's people behind the scenes that are doing things. Let's hear what those people
Yeah,
what they do.
absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a fantastic title team. So there is our title officer, which it's Carla, you usually see on our title report. She is amazing, and she's who I actually go to if a customer has any questions regarding specific easements, something that, the title officer, that's exactly what they do. On my team, I also have an assistant and her name's Kim. She's an amazing, amazing assistant and has, I think, about 30 years of escrow experience under her belt. So she will actually go through and clear title. So it's ordering the payoffs on the property. Again, if the buyer and seller have child or spousal support, she helps me reach out to those exes and make sure that everyone's current on the child support. And then once that file is clear, she will actually give that to me. And then from there, we either wait on the lender, or if it's a cash transaction, for when the property is ready to actually close. I prepare all of the legal documents for that closing. I sign with the buyers and sellers, and then I also work with the lender so they can fund the loan to the property as well. So it's kind of like a little jointed team where we all step in and help out a lot. And I'm very lucky to have truly one of the best teams.
That's awesome. I mean, I've closed deals with Western Title for over 20 years, and that's something that people don't consider. Like, the real estate agent can do their job 100%. The lender can do their job 100%. If escrow messes up, like, it ain't closing. And
No.
so it's very important to understand who you're choosing. And a lot of times in a contract where a buyer's writing, the listing agent will say, we prefer this person. So you, as buyers out there, like, you can say who you want to, and it can be a contingency of your offer. So I would encourage you not to just say, oh, I'll just do it with whoever, because whoever may not meet your actual needs. And a lot of times your buyer's agent will have a really good relationship with a firm or an individual closing officer that can help, because they have experience. They know what's going to happen. And every experience, I promise you, is not the same. I've had good ones, I've had bad ones, but Western Title has always done a really good job for us. So, like you mentioned, like a plat map, right? Like, so it's going to show the boundaries of your property, and then title insurance. So does title insurance cover like what is on the plat map as being, because what if there is a boundary dispute or something like that? How does that tie in together to what we've showed them?
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as if there is a boundary dispute, again, especially when there's a lender's policy involved, that's when really those border lines specifically are insured against the lender. And then for an owner's policy, if it's a cash transaction, you can choose to have an extended owner's policy to be able to cover against those type of issues that may arise after closing. So again, this is the whole purpose of title insurance, is that we all work and do the best that we can. But after we close, if there is an issue, that's what your policy covers. And so you would work with our title and claim officer team to be able to help resolve those issues.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like what else? What have we missed? What else does title?
Yeah.
Because it's two different things. Title is like ownership, and then escrow is like where the money's at, right? Because you have like a long conversation with the lender, right? So your lender will talk with escrow, and they balance together to make sure all the numbers are right. So explain that part of it to us.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm happy that you brought that up, because we were kind of talking about my team as far as the escrow team, but I think one of the most important teams throughout a real estate transaction is the relationship between the real estate agent, the escrow officer, and as well as the lender, all working together to make everything go as smooth as possible. So when we do get down to crunch time, your closing date, we actually work with the lender to say exactly how much your buyer needs to come in. People call it their closing funds, their down payment, you name it, we hear that. So we don't actually have that dollar amount, which a lot of people don't know until the lender balances with us. So a lot of times, especially if you are a first-time home buyer, I will typically give you a call just to kind of give you the run through of the whole process, because I don't have lender fees right off the bat. So a lot of people have to coordinate from, let's say, their 401k and be able to transfer those funds over to go towards their down payment. And so they need to know a good time in advance. And the lender is the one who really does have those fees before we even get them. Sometimes I don't receive the lender's fees until we get their loan documents a day before closing. So being able to work with escrow, your real estate agent and the lender is just so important. So there's no holdups with funds. I mean, some people are getting gift funds from parents and some, or family members. And like I said, the 401k is a huge thing because 401k companies are either very easy to transfer your money or they make it really, really, really difficult. So if the lender has an approximate idea, you can work with the escrow team to be able to get those funds. So when we come down to get the exact dollar amount, those funds might already be in escrow and you would just get a refund.
Yeah. So, that's a huge piece, guys, because every real estate contract has a timeline, right? And if you miss a timeline, then you're actually in default in the contract and the other party doesn't have to go along with you. So, like even if you're getting court closing and you ask for an extension, the seller doesn't have to say yes, right? So all of these things that escrow helps coordinate and put together are very important to your real estate contract actually being successful. Because if you miss a date, the other part doesn't have to say yes. And, then you have to, maybe start over. Maybe you lose your earnest money, and obviously you don't want it to be someone else's fault. So, that's just, generally like what escrow does. So it's a very important process, and it's, something that everybody should be very, very well aware of. And it's not just like, oh, I just pay these fees to escrow because I was told I have to. They're doing a very specific job for you, and it's very, very important. So we just wanted to bring Kelly online, give a quick little spiel over what escrow is about, because like I get the question every day, well, what's this fee? What's this fee? Why do I gotta pay them some money? Who splits the fees? Because in Oregon, typically the fees are split right down the middle for title and escrow type fees. So all of it comes into being a successful real estate transaction. So the point of this video is it matters who you pick. It matters your real estate agent, it matters your lender, it matters your escrow officer. And if your real estate agent or lender has someone that they've worked in the past and they've had a good experience, it's a pretty good idea to listen to them, because you don't do this all the time. This year I'll close 40 transactions, and so that's a lot more times than most people buy or sell a house in their entire lifetime. Maybe most people don't do 40 deals ever, right? 2 to 3 is what most people do. So it's a very foreign concept to a lot of people. Kelly, so Western is owned by Fidelity, correct?
Fidelity, yes.
Yeah,
so we are under the Fidelity.
Who is your owner, and why does that matter?
Yeah, so well, as far as our Fidelity.
Yeah, like what's Fidelity bring to the table?
So, well, it's actually amazing because Western really does own and operate like a local title company. However, we do have the backing of Fidelity National Title, which is huge. I kind of brought this up earlier, but again, wire fraud is a huge thing. And we're lucky enough to have a whole department that is all they do. And that is all they handle to be able to make sure that we protect people's money. They have a direct line with the FBI. We have the backing as far as the security with, like I mentioned, the mobile deposit. So we have that big corporate backing, but we run as a local company, which is so wonderful and such a great company for me to be able to work with.
Yeah, so that's important, right? So you get benefits of local, the backing of the corporate, right? So that's one reason that I choose Western as well. Kelly, how does someone find you specifically if they have more questions? What's a good phone number and or email address for you?
Yeah, okay, my email address is going to be long because you guys saw my last name, but
we'll actually type it on the screen. So, actually you guys just look in the description, or we'll flash it on the screen how to get a hold of Kelly.
Perfect.
Her phone number and her email. So, like someone else named Kelly with a awesome last name doesn't get any asking about title on escrow. What closing words would you have for everybody? If you're confused about it, where's some good resources? Where can they find out? Where can they answer some of their own questions?
Yeah, so we have a lot of resources available at our website at westerntitle.com. We have buyer and seller guides that are available, and it's just, I think it's a 30-page document that really goes over the whole entire process. I am also just available there, like Joshua said. You guys don't do this every day. So we do. There is not a stupid question. I love answering questions because it prevents, issues going down the road. So always feel free to reach out to your escrow officer, reach out to me, reach out to whoever, and ask the questions because you guys don't do this every day.
Absolutely. And at the end of the whole deal, you get a couple cool pins. You get to sit across the table from Kelly and sign some documents, more than you probably ever wanted to. And you get to walk away with the keys for your house. Kelly, we absolutely appreciate you jumping on and giving a brief understanding and explanation of escrow because I think it will definitely help a lot of people. So everyone's out there, you know how to reach me. You can go ahead and tap that subscribe button below, tap the bell for notifications, and we'll make sure to keep you up to date on all the current happenings in and around Central Oregon when it has to do with anything real estate, actually anything to do with the community. And like if you need a connection for escrow anywhere, like I have a lot of people in a lot of different places, even if it doesn't happen to be in Oregon. So we appreciate everybody joining in. And Kelly, thanks for jumping on the channel.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.